So let's talk about when a runner comes to this loyalty application. They're going to log in, and the first thing that they're going to be presented with is a form. In this form, they're going to pick their home location and enter in the event code. Now, their home location should be pre-selected for them if they went ahead and filled this out during registration. Now, there might be a time if they sign up with Facebook or Twitter that we don't grab that home location, but we're going to address that at a later time, and we'll probably do that by just kind of pointing them to the fact that they can update that in their user profile. So for here, we need to grab the user's home location. And this is a field that is not originally on the registration form. So I want to walk through kind of how we did that. So here's the home location, and all it is a drop down of all of the locations in the system. Again, this might become a problem if we had thousands of locations, but for us, we only have like 40, so it's not a big deal. If it was more data like that, I'd probably consider some kind of type ahead or pick a state first so we can narrow it down. But this is going to work okay for us. So let's walk through how we got this to work. So first, in the register component, I went in and I added a new form item, and that is going to be the home location select dropdown. The model for this is going to be the register account, which everything else is on. And then I added a home location. That's the name of this. Then one thing I did here was I added a null value, and so this allows us to basically not have anything selected and make sure that they actually go and select something. So then we're going to loop over our list of locations, and the ID is going to be our value. The location name is going to be what we display to the user. So in our user component, we have a few things going on. So the first thing I want to do is actually make sure that home location is set to null. Then I'm going to call this .loadLocations, and this is a method. So this method is basically going to set our locations array to an empty array. And then we're going to go out and use the location service to run a query. And right now this probably could be like a find all, but this query is kind of what comes built in, so I'm using it. I know I'm using a page of 0, and I'm just saying to grab all of them. Again, I could probably refactor this and write my own like find all that doesn't bring back a pageable, but for now this is going to work just fine for me. So in the location service, we have a query, and that is going to reach out to, again, our API RFB locations. So I want to find our RFB location resource, and that's going to use the get method. So here's that. And this will just reach out and go to our service implementation, our repository, and bring back a pageable list of locations. So that is just how we load the locations. Now we got to talk about saving this off. So when we go ahead and save this, we're calling the register service.save. Now remember, we're adding a new field to this. And I could see you wanting to add fields to the registration process later too. So this won't work right out of the box. We need to make a few changes. So this is calling the registration service. So if we look at the registration service, it's going to call our backend and call something API/register. So let's look at where that could be. If we jump into our REST here, we can look at account REST, our account resource, and here's our API/register. Now when we pass this in, we're passing in a request body, and we've added a new data item to that request body, which is the home location. So by default, the managed user VM won't pick that up. So what I did is I went ahead and went into here and added that. So that's going to be the long, it's just an ID, so the long ID of the home location. So I added it here and then to the super to make this kind of work. Now this does extend our user DTO. So I also had to add something into here to add our home location. In here, I'm getting the home location ID as long as it's there. If not, I'm getting null. And again, I'm passing that into the user DTO constructor here. So a few changes to kind of make that happen, but at the end of the day, we are allowing them to select their home location so that when they log in on our home page, We've already got their home location. All they have to really do is ask their organizer of the event what today's event code is, punch in that event code, and they are ready to run. So I hope this was helpful. Again, I know you're going to probably need to at some point add information into the registration process. So this is really how you do that. It's nothing trivial, or it's nothing that hard to do. So I hope this tutorial helped out. And with that, let's go ahead and move on.